I want you to breathe me.
Hello and welcome. My name is Josh and I am one of the guys behind Reload Sessions. Now here in Reload Sessions we record upcoming artists performing acoustic sets for us. Now we've been doing this week in, week out for a few years now, and I have come across hundreds of upcoming artists. And it occurred to me that a lot of these artists don't really know how the music industry works, how your brand is really important, and how social media can be a big influencer. So I thought it would be a great concept to talk with successful YouTubers, artists, and people who work in the music industry, and sit down, have a conversation with them, and pick their brain. So today in this interview, I talk with the lovely Ebony Day. Now she's titled herself as a social media influencer. She started off on YouTube, and within 4 years, she accumulated 500,000 subscribers across all three of her channels. And her Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram figures alone are crazy high. Now, I first met Ebony Day roughly about 2 years ago, where we filmed and recorded a session with her. We became friends after, and we actually started doing more projects together, and we also done projects around the world together. Now, I had the opportunity of sitting down with Ebony Day, and we talked about how it all began. She goes into great detail of why it began. She even opens up about how her family received the news about her wanting to take YouTube properly as a career. She even gives some great tips about social media, which can help any upcoming artists out there. She also talks about what she wants to move into as well. Now, we casually recorded this in her small Fiat 500 car. I had brought 2 microphones but couldn't seem to work the second one, so we had to share one microphone. But if you can look past the audio quality and the background noise and just zone in into what Ebony Day was saying, you get a great insight into her career, and she gives some great tips along the way that can help any upcoming artists out there. So sit back and listen to what I get up to with Ebony Day. Ebony Day.
Yeah, Ebony Rihanna Day.
Ebony Rihanna Day. I know that, but I don't use that often. Sorry, as we're talking right now, we're sitting in a car park.
3 pretty girls just walked past us.
Yeah, so you might hear the occasional engine roaring by, or people walking and talking, or car door slamming.
Yeah, true.
But hopefully we can get something out of this. So, Ebony Rihanna Day.
Yeah.
You are a YouTuber, artist, vlogger, presenter, blogger.
Yeah.
I don't know what you are. You're all sorts.
I don't know what I am either.
Can you, if you had to tell me one title,
Yeah.
if someone asked, "Hey, what do you do?"
Okay.
What would you say?
Okay, well, there's 2 things. Like, say if I'm at a family event,
Okay.
and you've got to sound a bit more like profesh.
Okay.
And like, so,
Why in a family event though?
because like you want them to be proud of you. Be like, damn, Ebony's doing so well.
All right.
I would say a social media influencer.
Ooh.
But if I was with my friends, I'd be like, I make videos and that.
Essentially, that's what you do.
Yeah.
But you've accumulated a lot of following from it.
Yeah.
I have statistics. I've done my research.
You do.
So
Go on, read them out.
from what I
Wrong. You're
okay,
wrong.
hold on. You have 3 YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Don't look at my notes.
Oh, sus.
Okay, you
It's
have
kinda
3
hard
YouTube
not to, you're
notes.
like right next to me.
Well, you told me you can't read and talk at the same time,
Yeah,
so it's
struggle.
fine. So, I get confused because the way it's branded,
Yeah.
one of them's called Ebony Day.
Yeah.
That's the vlog one.
Yeah, because I'm transitioning to that
Oh, I
being my
see.
main channel.
So that's 124,000 subs.
Yeah, that's the channel where I post like relatable content. It's mostly like the audience is mostly girls, so it's more like girly, relatable content, like makeup stuff, more chatty videos.
But the main channel right now, or
Yeah.
the oldest channel, is the
Yeah.
YouTube music, Ebony Day music.
Yeah, and that's where I post covers.
And that's the 379,000 plus subs.
Yeah.
But recently you've been doing daily vlogs, which is Ebony Day vlogs,
Yeah.
which is around 12,000 subs.
Yeah.
And that's where you just do it every day.
Every single day, like a 3-minute video every single day
Man,
of
that's
just like the
intense.
random stuff that has been going on.
And I guess you are a social media influencer, because looking at your Twitter, you have 95,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, wow, look at you. You just, yeah, okay.
Yep, that's me.
Facebook, you have 213,000 likes. And Instagram, you're on 104,000 followers.
Yeah,
So, pretty impressive stats.
thank you.
You don't seem impressed.
No, yeah.
Oh, is it just surreal that I'm saying all of these numbers out now? All right, so what I wanted to go into is the origin, basically where you started, how you started, all the mistakes that came along the way, and where you want to transition to now. So, if you can give me a little idea as to how, or a little insight as to how it all started.
Okay, do you want like long story or short?
It's really down to you.
Okay.
Is this practice? I want it to be off the cuff.
Wait, firstly, is it off the cuff or off the cuff?
We'll find out.
We're asking the audience.
Well, we'll ask the 5 people who are listening.
Phone a friend. That's what we're doing right now.
All right, so off the cuff.
Yeah.
How did this all begin?
When I was how old was I when I started? 17 or 18? It was the first year that I went into sixth form, so whatever age that is. I got loads of food allergies, which you know, and I had to leave school for how long? Like 6 or 7 months. And when I was at home, I wasn't like bed bound, but I was getting so ill whenever I ate that I couldn't really leave the house very often. So I was just always on YouTube, and I'd recently learnt how to play the guitar, so I was just posting videos on YouTube, mostly so that I didn't forget how to play the songs, because I was just learning them. And then all of a sudden, like, people started watching, asking me to do covers of other songs, and then just like a following just grew. And that wasn't really why I started it, but while everyone was at school and I wasn't really doing much, that was kind of the thing that like I was doing, and it passed the time. So
you're saying the reason why you did it was purely by accident?
Yeah.
You had food allergies, which meant you were homebound a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And was the YouTube scene the same? Was it the way it is now?
No, like there was, well, from what I remember, there wasn't nearly as many people as are on there now. So like people who were posting covers, it was a lot easier to get views and to get seen because there wasn't as many people doing it. So like you could post a cover and you'd be on the first page because there wouldn't be a ton of people doing it at the same time, whereas now a song comes out on the radio and everyone's got their cover up the next day and there's 100 of them. So
would you say you stumbled across this purely by luck?
Yeah, I think so.
But then you eventually worked your way and managed to work it towards you.
Because at first I didn't know, I knew I liked music, but it was never something that I thought you could do, because it's just like you always hear stories, and I heard stories because that was when Justin Bieber first got big. But you don't think really that it's gonna like happen. So I was just doing it for fun and I liked it. And then when everyone was making decisions to go to university, probably like a year and a half after I started, the last thing I wanted to do was to go to university, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I liked, and music was just there. It was there and it was fun and I was enjoying it, and I didn't know what was going to happen with YouTube because it was so new. But I was enjoying it, and I was given the opportunity to go to Australia for a year with my parents, and I just wanted to pursue music while I was there. And then so I didn't go to uni, I went to Australia. I remember we talked about this. Yeah. Because we've done several projects together. Yeah. We went to south of France, filmed. We went to Chamonix. To film some sessions over there. Then we went to Thailand together and filmed some stuff over there. I'm sure there's something else. We just done sessions. Yeah, we just done sessions. Yeah. And I remember we talked about your origins. I remember you told me that you worked with Autopilot. Yeah. And that's where it all started off. Yeah. So just before I went, was it before? Just before I went to Australia, there was this competition that I saw on Facebook, and it was Autopilot that was running it, and it was like, do a cover of a song and submit it, and then Autopilot will pick his favourite, and they'll get a day in the studio, do a cover with him, and and get like an amount of money from Animal, you know, the clothing brand Animal. Oh yes, I do know it. Yes. And so I like put myself forward for that, won that, and then once I did that, I kind of had the connection with Autopilot.
So you just casually won it. You
I see. I don't really remember it. I don't know how I won. I don't know if it was fan votes or whether it was just he picked.
And back then, did you have a following already?
A small one, like maybe I don't know, 10,000 subscribers or something. So it was very much at the beginning.
And I remember watching Autopilot back in the day.
He was so good.
He was really talented.
He was always posting covers. Like he was on it.
And so you started off just being like a cover girl, doing just covers.
Yeah.
And then he would help produce your stuff.
Yeah, and so after we met, we got on really well, and he said that he would produce my covers from now on. So I got a microphone and a slightly better camera, and then he would just produce my covers for me. So they went from, instead of just playing the guitar in my bedroom, they went to being more produced, and then that's when my channel really grew. Because then I went to Australia. I wasn't at school, so like as soon as a song came out, I'd be like, his Autopilot's name's Matt, so I'd be like, hey Matt, can you produce this song? It's just come out, and then we'd get the cover up the next day. So
it was a case that you were always on the lookout on what was number one or what was trending, and then how many days would it take to produce a song?
If we were quick, because it was helpful because of the time difference. So when he was asleep, he'd send the track, go to bed, and I was awake. So then I'd record the vocals, and then by the time he was awake, I was asleep, so he'd edit it, and then as soon as I woke up, I'd film the video and it was done. Wow. So because of the time difference, that actually helped loads.
So Autopilot really did help you.
Yeah, big time.
And with the you were saying that once you worked with him and started catching the great songs, you started growing. Yeah. How else did you help grow the channel? Because you've made, just on the music channel alone, 379,000. How did it eventually get to that figure? I think
once it crossed 100,000, it kind of just like, what's the word where it like the ball, the snowball.
It was, oh my gosh, my mind's blank. I mean? Yeah, I know what you mean.
Basically, it just picked up, and the more subscribers, the quicker it grew. So whereas before it was like a steady growth, it then just kind of skyrocketed, and then each video would get 1 million or close to 1 million, and then the more and more people would find out about the channel, so then they'd subscribe, and it just grew quickly.
And how long did it take you to get from 0 to 100,000?
I remember actually, I hit 100,000 when I was at my friend's house in Australia. So that was when I lived there, so probably maybe 2 years. Wow,
that's pretty quick.
So I met Autopilot maybe a year and 2 months in, and then when he was working with me constantly, it just went up quick.
And was it a case that you celebrated when you hit the first 100,000?
Yeah, I went swimming with sharks.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. So along the way, I'm sure there were some mistakes.
Yeah.
And can you elaborate on any mistakes that happened in terms of just the music side of your channel?
So
as you can hear the sirens going off in the background.
With the music, I think I started to cover songs just because they were current, like not because I liked them. It was like, I need to cover this song because it's new and people will watch it, and then I'll get views, and then people will subscribe, and it turned into more of like a machine. It was just like, oh, here's a new song, do it, get it out. Whereas before it was like, oh, I love this song, I want to do this song, and then it just turned into just something else. It wasn't as fun. So I started finding it less enjoyable, but then I think I learnt that I needed to start doing songs that I liked. So that was one of the things. And then just in terms of the music industry, because I was just a girl who started YouTube from school, I didn't know anything about the music industry, and it's quite confusing and misleading. And when I first started, and then things started picking up, all I wanted was to get signed by a record label. That was the goal, that was the dream. But like I didn't really know anything about like record labels. I just knew that once you got signed, you're more likely to make it big. But then like that, as I got older, that wasn't something that I wanted at all. Like now it's probably the opposite of what I want. So I think it was just like a big learning curve.
So you're now happy to settle as being an independent artist?
Yeah, just because and this, obviously I've never been signed, so I can't talk out of experience, but I just feel like I very much like being in control. I like doing things for myself and having my own say and kind of just answering to me, which I'm not sure is a good thing or a bad thing, but I feel like if I was signed, I wouldn't like not being able to have my like full input in things.
So when you first started off as being a YouTuber, how did your parents take it? Because back in the day, YouTube wasn't the way it was. Yeah, it wasn't what it is now. And I remember when we created our channel, I told my parents, I was like, look, this is what I want to do. And thankfully they're very supportive of it. Yeah. But it took a few years to grow it. Yeah. And like you said, it took you 2 years just to get to 100,000. Yeah. What was the first 2 years like?
Luckily, I was quite young when I started it, so it was. I think it was a bit of a tough decision when everyone was deciding to go to university, and I was there definitely. Like, oh, I want to post some videos on the internet. Like, obviously, to a parent who is so used to, both of my brothers went to university, so it was like they're so used to the conventional ways of like leaving school, going to university, getting a job. It was like, well, you can just do videos as a hobby. It's not a job. Especially back then, because like obviously now you have people who that is their job. Yeah. But back then it wasn't the same. So it was more like my parents just thought I was being a bit lazy, and they would always be like, "Oh, but when are you going to get a real job?" And that would always be the thing that they would say, and it used to wind me up so much.
They said that to you?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh, wow, that's
and like, but it's understandable because obviously they don't want their kid bumming around, of course, just posting things on the internet. And back then it wasn't making me money, so it was just like, well, you can just do that for fun, but you need to think about what you're going to do when you're 40 years old. Yeah. So they liked that I was doing it because my confidence was growing, because I used to be quite shy. But then they also were kind of just like, they couldn't see it being like a long-term thing. Yeah.
Now, without going into too much detail, I know a lot of people still don't understand how you actually can make money from YouTube. Yeah. If you can just give a little explanation of how you did it. Okay. Without giving like figures and all of that, but so people just automatically
£1 million.
People automatically think just because you got like 3,000 views, you're like, oh my gosh, you're a millionaire. Yeah. You have to have millions of views. Yeah. And
so like when I first started, because when I first started, YouTube was so new. You used to be able to get paid through AdSense, which is like when they run an advert on your video, and you would like I can't remember exactly, but it would be like £1 per 1,000 views. So you needed to be getting like a considerable amount of views to really earn anything. Yeah. But then as YouTube got bigger, they brought in copyrights, so you couldn't earn a penny on a song if it wasn't yours. So where people used to be making, or like cover artists on YouTube used to be making a lot if they were getting a lot of views, then they went from earning like, I don't know, 1,000 a month to 0. So then this thing like YouTube networks start coming in, and they start getting you like brands to work with and things to kind of partner you with other things to put on your channel, and that's kind of how it works now. So it's more like brands will come to you and say, do you want to wear this top or this jumper, or will you talk about this in a video? And I don't really do it on my music channel because I don't think it fits in. Yeah. It's quite hard to talk about something when you're meant to be singing.
Exactly. But also your music channel was like a hobby. First, it was where you just played around, and it just accidentally
turned into something, and I wouldn't change it at all, but like it was very much an accident. But it's hard to talk and promote something on a music channel,
definitely,
because it's very obvious that you're well, essentially selling something. But on my Ebony Day channel, the blogging one, that one's a lot easier, and I would only do something if it was actually something like I liked. So like one of the ones I've done is for ASOS, and it's just like a lookbook of like ASOS clothes, and that's something I shop at ASOS anyway, and it's like the type of stuff my audience would buy. So
yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't do something if it was like selling something I didn't like.
Yeah, I've always said that with the amount of followers you have, you're essentially a walking billboard.
Yeah, that's how I say it too.
Yeah, and
that
so
is essentially what
companies
it is.
will want to latch onto you.
Yeah.
So did you have that in mind to grow your following so that you can have influence and then get the attention of brands to latch onto you?
No. It was more just like, I like doing this. I want this to be my job, but I need to be able to live.
Of course. Yeah.
So it was more like, this is fun. I like doing it. I like talking to these people, and I like making these people laugh. But I do need to make a living. So it was more like, this is fun. I like it, but I need to do something so that I can live. So the brand stuff is more, it's not the reason I do it, it's just the way so that I can keep doing it.
Of course. And with the daily vlogs, what inspired you to do something daily? You're editing, you're filming and editing and putting it up the
Every
next day.
single day, yeah. To be honest, it was when we went on our trip to Thailand.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know if you remember, we were
Yes.
talking about it in the restaurant.
Yes.
And I was vlogging every day that we were in Thailand, and I was finding it so fun because we were doing fun stuff every day, and people were really enjoying seeing what we were up to every day. And at first I wasn't sure whether they were going to like it or find it like I was uploading too often. But they just absolutely loved it. They liked seeing what was going on, what I was finding funny, what we were doing, like even tiny things like what we were eating, like just like little things. It's just like, it's basically like watching a reality TV show.
Yeah, pretty much.
And after I got back, I was like, I kind of miss doing it.
Oh, that's great.
So, but then I didn't want to post it all on the blog channel because it would change the format of the channel. So then I just started a new one.
So it because I remember we were talking in Thailand, and I remember saying to you, why not try doing something weekly or even daily?
Yeah.
And then I remember you saying...
My answer was no.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
remember you said that sometimes there are days where you're doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But then I remember one time I talked to you and you said a fan came up to you
Yeah.
and said...
They're their favourite ones
Yeah, they're
when
the
I'm
best
doing
ones.
nothing.
Yeah, that's so strange.
Which is so, like, I can't really get my head around it. Because when I'm editing it, and for someone creating a video to then sit there editing them making a cup of tea is just so unsatisfying.
Well, to some people it's...
Yeah, like, I'd be like, I can't put this up, it's so boring. But I think what it is that, like, there's days where I'm doing things that are so fun and so glamorous, and they don't seem like normal person things. And then there's days where I'm just sat at home doing my washing, and it's like, it just kind of brings it back to the point where, like, I literally am just a normal person.
Yeah, exactly.
I just get random things will happen which are really exciting, but there are days where I do nothing, and that's what my audience do sometimes too. So
And that pressure, do you feel pressure to do it every day?
Yeah.
I can imagine there are days where you have a bad day and you just don't want to be filming.
Yeah, and I think I'm quite lucky in the fact that, one, the vlog channel is quite small, so the audience are quite like lenient when I can't post something. Like, I know, like, some people who daily vlog, their channels are so big that they have more people to upset, or like,
It's that responsibility.
yeah. And a lot of people get upset when they don't post. But because my channel is quite small and we're more like of a contained like family kind of, they're very understanding when I don't want to post things. So I'll just say, look, I wasn't having a good day today.
Oh, so there have been times where you've not posted.
Yeah. Like last Saturday I didn't post, and I was just like, I just wasn't feeling it today.
Okay, that's okay. What? So that's YouTube.
Yeah.
How did you build your Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram? Because those numbers are crazy.
I honestly don't know. I can tell you Facebook.
Okay.
My so my Twitter, my Instagram, and my YouTube following is like 90% girls.
Okay.
My Facebook, for some reason, is just boys.
Really?
Yeah.
And what do you post on Facebook?
I don't know what. Just
Is
selfies.
it just selfies? So
yeah.
there you go.
And there's like some girls on there, but it's just boys.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, and it's really strange because I don't really know how to control that channel because I'm so used to like posting things that are girly, and then my Facebook page is just so different.
So are you very aware of what you put out on different social media platforms?
Yeah, like as I was saying earlier, on my YouTube channel I'll post like relatable girl content because that's what my audience is, and that's what they're gonna relate to. But on Facebook, I have no clue. I just selfies.
Wow. Because I've always told myself, told artists, because we deal with like artists week in, week out.
Yeah.
And I've always told them, like, you can be the best guitarist or artist in the world, but if you can't get your presence on social media or just your
so
presence up there, you're essentially like nothing, no one.
Yeah, and that's so sad though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sad to say, but I mean, this is the game.
It's true, yeah.
And so, are there any tips you have for upcoming artists or people who are trying to build their following? I know you said a lot of it was luck,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there is a strategy somewhere.
Yeah, like I understand it now.
Yeah.
When I first started, it was just purely luck. But because I've been doing it for 6 years now, so of course there's been like dips along the way, and I've been like, oh my god, I need to understand it better. So now I feel like I have quite a good understanding of how to make things grow and like what content to put out without being like forced and stuff. But I think like my advice to new people is that you just have to keep going, and you can't like neglect your social media, regardless of whether you've got 2 people looking or like 100,000 people looking. You don't want to let down those 2 people.
Yeah.
You also don't want to let down those 100,000 people. So it doesn't really matter how many people are looking, because someone could stumble upon your page and be like, oh, she or he hasn't posted in a month, like she's obviously not doing anything. Whereas if you're posting every day, then there's always something for someone to see, and people forget so easy.
So are you saying like the main bit of advice is consistency?
Yeah, just be consistent, post regularly. What is it?
Regularly.
Regularly.
So consistent in creating content.
Yeah.
All right.
Because otherwise, like, it's like when there's like a celebrity in the media, everyone's like so like obsessed, and then that celebrity is out of the media for a month, and you just forget.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
And it's the same when, like, I know, because I don't post as much on the music channel anymore, and like I noticed such a drop because people just forget who you are.
But is this something that's planned? Are you moving into something else now? Is that music channel was just going to be seen as just a hobby, and now you're going to start doing more vlogging, presenting?
I've been like debating it for so long.
You're in transition phase now.
Yeah.
You can open up. Let's do it to the world.
Basically, I was just like, with music, I was just finding myself like being quite repetitive, and I felt like I just got into this place where I was posting things just to post, and just so that I stayed relevant and current, but I just wasn't enjoying it. Like my mind wasn't in it, and I think I just needed some time to just wonder really what I wanted to do. But I think what I've realized is that I made my channel so long ago, and the audience were probably like 16, around 16, and over the 6 years they're now 22, and the stuff I was posting just wasn't stuff that they wanted to see anymore. Of course. So my audience grew up with me, and I wasn't staying current with their age. I was still posting stuff that was aged at 16-year-olds.
Sure.
So I was getting disheartened that the things that I was posting weren't getting views, and it was just because I wasn't really being very sensible about it. So I don't know, I've now decided that music channel is maybe not like the way that I want to go.
Hot news, fresh off the press.
Yeah, and
Ebony Day music is leaving.
No, it's not that I want to quit, but I think I'm thinking about posting music on my I've changed the name to
Yes.
Ebony Day on my blog
Yeah.
channel, and I'm now gonna put like music once a month on that channel, so everything's in like collective one
Yeah.
place. Running 3 channels is quite tricky, so I want to make the best content on Ebony Day.
So you want to make it the creative hub, and everything will be in there.
Yeah, apart
including-
from my daily vlogs.
Yeah, that'd
So
be
my daily vlogs will always be on the vlogging channel, but I want to always have something going up on the Ebony Day channel, and I want it to be like varied. I don't want it to be the same thing every time. So one week it might be a cover, the next week it might be like a makeup video, the next it might be something else, but I just want it to be more in one place and a variety of stuff.
Well,
really.
I like that you're aware of this,
Yeah.
and that you're aware that you kind of maybe want to transition out their
Yeah.
YouTube music, Ebony Day music, and I
Yeah.
like that you're thinking about, oh, okay, maybe I can change this and change that. So that's good to hear that.
Yeah.
You're not just going with the flow and
No.
just going, hey, okay.
I just think I needed to make a change, really.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that's
And
fine.
with the presenting, is that something because you're doing really well with, is it Awesomeness
TV,
Yeah. Yeah, and how's that going?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely love it, and I feel like my path has kind of taken a very different turn to what I thought it was going to, because when I started I was very much music orientated, but now I was sat in an interview, I don't remember when it was a couple years ago, and I was getting asked the questions, and I wanted to be the person asking the questions, and I was sat there like, I'm enjoying this, but I want to see what it's like to be the other person.
Yeah, of course.
And since then, I guess like I've just changed my path a bit.
And I remember we worked together, and you were on the other side asking questions. You were asking Janae Aiko.
Yeah, that was
Was
the
your first
thing.
gig?
Yeah.
So essentially, we gave you your first gig.
Yeah, you did. You did. That was fun, but I was so scared.
Yeah.
Because I'd always been the person answering.
Mhm.
So it's quite strange being on the other foot.
Matt, to be doing it for your first gig with someone
With
of
MTV.
of high caliber, that's impressive. You held it down.
I don't know
remember,
whether I did.
No? Well, if people could go find that, that would be funny. I think I've seen it. You were fine.
I think I've seen it too, but I think I've tried to forget.
Well, everyone starts off from their humble beginnings. Anyway, so I wanted to ask 2 more questions.
Yeah.
You're
only allowed one, I'm afraid.
Okay, so I'm going to do those last 2 questions. Your the social media stuff.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Any tips? Are there any programs or any automative software you use, or is it just
Ooh,
all
yeah.
you?
Well, like automated software, no. Sorry, I need to burp.
Oh, do it.
Automated programs I don't use.
You're against it?
Well, no, I just
Okay.
I've never really found the need.
Sure.
Like there's this app that I recently found called Social Blade. Have you heard of it?
No, I've not.
It's really good.
Okay.
You basically type in, like, you can do it with any channel, it doesn't have to be yours, but like I would type in Ebony Day Blogs, search, and then it tells me all of my, like, how many subscribers have subscribed on what date.
Oh, wow.
How many views you got, so you can see like when was the best day for you to upload, or and it will tell you your projections for like a year, or it tells you, say my channel last month was on a D- grade, which isn't very good, and that was because I privated a video, so I lost lots of views. But it tells you like the health of your channel. So because I was on a D, I knew I needed to post more and be more frequent, and now I've got my channel up to a C+.
Oh, brilliant.
So that means that like you're growing in subscribers at like a upward pace rather than like steady.
So you're like a firm believer at looking at analytics, and
Yeah, like not religiously.
Okay.
But I think they're quite helpful, because sometimes you feel like you're in a bit of a rut, and you're not really sure whether things are growing.
And what is it called? Social Blade.
Social Blade,
Are you
yeah.
telling me I can go on any YouTube account?
I could type in reload sessions
and you can find out.
show
Oh,
your
please
stats.
don't. I don't want to see your
I
statistics.
do it all the time.
Oh,
though.
really?
Not with reload
Yeah.
sessions, but like someone who is my channel size, I'll type in, because it's good to see like how someone else is growing, because
Essentially competition.
yeah, kind of, but just to make sure that you're doing things right, or
Yeah.
if you're doing things wrong, it's like, hey, my channel is this size and so is this person's, but why are they doubling in subscribers a day and I'm staying steady?
Oh, that's a great tip.
So it's always good to just kind of keep track on things. I kind of got into this routine where I checked it every day, and that wasn't really very good.
Yeah, I don't think that's healthy.
no. But like, say if I check it once a month and I just check the growth, it's really good. So I've started using that, which I love. And you can do that with your Instagram too.
Can you download that on your phone?
Yeah.
And it can do all social media platforms?
It doesn't do Twitter yet for some reason, but it does Instagram, YouTube, and I think Facebook.
Oh, brilliant. All right, last question.
Yeah.
So this question stemmed from the first email I sent you where I said I would like to interview a successful artist.
I thought you meant our first.
Oh, no.
Our first email ever.
No, I don't even remember what that was.
I'm just saying I kicked your butt at ping pong that first time.
Whatever, that's a whole new conversation for another time. But
That's so rubbish.
but I said I want to start this new series where
Yeah.
I interview or just have a pleasant chat with successful artists and people in the music industry to help upcoming artists or upcoming individuals to understand social media and understand just how they can help them, how it can help their craft.
Yeah.
And you said you don't see yourself as successful.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I want to know what you think a successful artist is. Because looking at these figures and looking at what you've done in these 6 years,
Yeah.
even though it was accidental
Yeah.
at the beginning,
First,
you've generated a following and you've created an income out of it.
yeah.
And now your parents are proud of you. So
Are they though? I didn't say that.
they are. So what to you is a successful artist?
I don't know. But,
Really?
But I
Is
just
it-
feel strange. Like, you know what's so strange is that I still, for some reason, don't see YouTube as a real job, and that's so weird. And because it is, it very much is, but for some reason I still have this thing in my mind which is like, oh, like who decides what's successful or not? And I don't know whether it's like I don't know, like maybe where my parents were like, you need to get a real job, but for some reason in my head it's not a real job. So like I don't really know. I just don't really see myself as being successful because I'm on YouTube.
Well, I can tell you from looking from the outside looking in, you look like a successful artist.
Yeah,
Whether
I
you're
made it.
whether an artist, whatever you are, blogger, entrepreneur, or I don't know, a social media influencer. Like, is that a self-title? Is that an
No,
actual
that's like
title?
that's a real
That's
title.
impressive. I like that. But what I must say is, I'm glad that you started off with the music.
Yeah.
Because if you had not, we would have not met.
I know.
So that's
You're
pretty
getting
cool
all
story.
sentimental.
Definitely not. Shut up. If there's something you must know to the 5 followers who are listening.
Oh, you think there's gonna be 5?
Yeah. All right, 3. Ebony Day is a big friend, and she begged the.
I really
Yeah,
did.
you begged to be friends with us,
Do you remember,
Pepe and I.
do you remember one time you invited me to an event? You were like filming it, and I really wanted to be your friend. So at the end, I brought you a bottle of water. Do you remember?
No, I don't.
And I thought, because I was like, oh, they've been filming for like a good 2 hours. They must be thirsty.
Well,
so I
thank
got
you.
both a bottle of water.
I don't think it was the water that made us become friends.
I mean, I don't know.
It might have, who knows. But Ebs, thank you very much for doing this with me. I hope you enjoyed
People
yourself.
don't know that we just high-fived. You could have just slapped my butt.
It's quite difficult in this car. But it was a high five. All right, so Ebs, I know that you have a social media presence, but just in case the new listeners, the new 3 listeners who are
yes,
listening,
please.
where could they find you?
If you have Twitter, then my Twitter is @EbonyDay1, and then like if you just type in Ebony Day on YouTube, one of the channels will come up.
Yeah,
There's
'cause
plenty
I
of
was
them.
so confused when I saw that. I was like, which one? It doesn't help that
They
they're
all
the
have the
same
same
photo. Yeah. All right, we'll leave it like that. Ebs, thanks very much.
Wait,
We're
are you
high-fiving
gonna
again.
Slap my booty.
Yeah, there we go. Peace out.
Bye.
And there you have it. That was my casual conversation with Ebony Day. I hope it gave any one of you guys an insight in how a social media influencer works. I even hope it inspired one of you guys to maybe create your own YouTube channel and take it seriously. Send us a tweet if you actually stay to the end on @ReloadSessions. You can comment down below, let me know your thoughts on what you think about this series. If you have any other ideas of people you would like me to interview, send me a message at info@reloadsessions.com. I read every single email. Thanks again for listening. Until next time.